Has the U.S. had it too good for too long? Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to Awake with Steve, where I talk about the things that keep me up at night, anxieties, other ideas, things that I'm thinking that won't let me sleep or that wake me up in the middle of the night. So, welcome. Okay, have we had it too good for too long? That's what I was thinking about last night on my way to sleep. I was thinking the United States has pretty much accomplished an amazing amount of their goals in the last 100 years, say. If we go back to the 1920s, we were coming out of World War I and the swine flu epidemic. After World War I and the swine flu epidemic, the United States kind of withdrew into itself. It had a whole bunch of things that needed to be dealt with. Well, I don't know if needed to be, but they were going to deal with internally. We had a lot of new technologies. We had automobiles. We had radio and television. We had phone systems, electricity, the big one. Now we could work all night. This resulted in, the big one, the really big one that was caused all kinds of issues later on is credit. With all of these new industries coming in line and all the new manufacturing processes and resources that they would consume, there was lots of employment. And what comes with a high demand for employees, improved wages, better working hours, increased time off, leisure time, and with the increase in credit availability, consumers consumed a lot, and we got the roaring 20s out of that. Now, the rest of the world was not in that condition. Okay, they were trying to recover from the mess that World War I left them in. We'd lost a couple of empires, 3 of them to be precise. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was shattered. The Turkish Empire, the Ottomans, they were destroyed. And Russia, the Tsarist Russia, fell apart and was in the process of, early on in the 20s anyway, of reestablishing a new form of government, a new government after the Tsars had been removed from power. So that left basically the French and the British as major powers in the world, and the French especially were trying to figure out how to secure their borders from this young upstart next to them called Germany, which already had several wars with France, and France was just tired of it. So they were busy trying to manipulate everything so that they would have security in Europe. And everybody else in Europe was trying to do that also. Germany was trying to figure out how to have a decent economy when France was coming in and basically working at bankrupting them through the Treaty of Versailles and other issues that France kept interfering with in Germany's affairs. Austro-Hungarian, the remnants of that, those countries went into massive depressions. They had to figure out what they, as an independent country, what they were going to do. We always had a big boss, and now we've got none. France and England divided up many parts of the world amongst themselves, and the rest of the world was pretty much in a mess as we worked through our new industries here in this country. And it all came to a head basically when we overexpanded in the U.S. We got the economy too hot, too much credit. The debt on the consumers and companies grew too big, and we crashed in the 1929 crash. And we went into a major depression, and that drove the rest of the world into even worse depression. And then in the US, that was enhanced by a drought in the Midwest in 1932. So basically, by the time the 30s rolled around, the whole world was pretty much a mess. And how we got out of it was World War II. The world went to war, and we destroyed whatever industrial capacity existed in the world, with the exception of the United States, with North America. And we came out of that, and America has been roaring ever since. We've helped to rebuild the world, the industrial capacity in the world. We've had a boogeyman that we could always use to spur on all of our partners and allies in the Soviet Union empire that existed. They could be our bad boys. We walled them off, and we have to improve our military. We have to improve our technology. We got to go to the moon to show that we're better than the Soviets. We've got to stay ahead of them. And then they crashed and burned. And we kind of culminated that whole growth process by China opening up and coming into the world trade. I'm not going to say it came into the World Trade Organization. It did, but it basically started trading throughout the world and became the manufacturer for the world. So we had most of the people in the world in fairly decent economies, and pulled more people out of poverty in the last 40 years than at any time in history. So we've had it really good. And on top of all of that was the United States sitting, kind of playing the puppeteer, if you will, all the time, paying attention to how good the rest of the world had it, and not really realizing how good that we have had it. Even today, we're still trying to manufacture problems. Got to watch out for the Chinese now. They're the big bugaboo. Not really. Yeah, economically, they can buy with us, but the minute we stop buying from them, their economy is going to crash, and is in the process of crashing. Their population's crashing. They're not going to be around as a major power for very much longer. They will be a good economy, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. But the big thing is we've been on top of the world in the U.S. for the last 80 years. And it's part of I'm looking at it going, we've got a 100-year cycle here again. And on top of the world, we have no effective enemies. There's no threat from anywhere else. We're not competing with anyone. We're just kind of kicking back and having fun, causing trouble. Since there's no outer focus for us, no competition, we get to fight amongst ourselves, which is what we're doing. And I wonder how many of our problems that we see today are the result of we've pushed this paradigm as far as we can. We've destroyed the world economy. The world economy was destroyed, and we've rebuilt it in our image, pretty much. And we've accomplished it. It's like, okay, now what? Sit back and twiddle our thumbs? Yeah, we don't know how to do that, but we don't know what else to do. So I'm looking at that and going, it's a wonder, do we have to, it's a wonder we're still existing. Do we really have to sit down and destroy the world all over again so that we can rebuild it? It's starting to look like that. And my anxieties are kind of kicking up. It's like, yeah, what happens if Russia just decides to toss a nuke on its way to defeat? It's like, goodbye. Thanks for all the fish. Oh, and hey, have this present too. Um, not a good thought. Not a good thought at all. So with that, I'll call it good. We will survive this. I believe it's just going to be a little nerve-wracking for a while. So until the next time, see ya.